Okay, take one. Walton Jean life story. Papa, what is your middle name?
August.
Oh.
My grandpa's was named August. August Jean, August Peterson.
I'm not sure that I knew that. Okay, we gotta start from the beginning. Where were you born?
Right across the tracks. That White House.
Oh, I thought Dad was born there.
He probably was. Yeah, I think so. No, I was born over there. Well, I was born in 9/10/21, and I know because I was there.
Okay.
You remember?
I knew all about it.
Alright, and who were your parents?
Jean and Mimi.
Margine?
That was my mother's name.
Bertha.
Bertha, yeah. Bertha Peterson.
Bertha Peterson.
Well, they were married, I think she was either 17 or 18, or 18 and 19, both of them. They got married in Green Bay because my mother was a Lutheran. They couldn't get married in the church.
But I thought she converted.
She was converted here. She went to school for 3 years, and they got married in this church. I think I was 4, and my sister Phyllis was 1.
So they got married once in Green Bay and then they got married again.
They took the train to Green Bay because my grandmas had sisters that lived down there.
Oh, okay.
And they knew them, so then they went down there.
Hmm.
But see, in my grandma's family, there was 19 kids.
And your grandma was who? Delia, right?
Julia.
Delia
Lamarche.
Lamarche.
But she, her mother had a set of triplets and 2 sets of twins.
19 kids.
19 kids, and they lived where Joe Linder lives now up on that road. You go a little bit further. In fact, the root cellar and the orchard is still there. There was just a room there, 2 rooms downstairs, a bedroom, and they had a kitchen. The kitchen took up most of it with all them kids. But to sleep, they had to go outside and climb a ladder to get up in the loft.
Why didn't they build a staircase?
There was no room downstairs.
Oh.
It was just a real small little, and down below they had a barn. Because everybody worked in the woods in the wintertime, and they raised a beef to eat, and a pig, and chicken for eggs, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Delia was married to, he was August as well, right?
August Jean.
August Jean.
But she was 13 when she got married, and her first one was born when she was 14.
Whoa.
Well, they had to get rid of some kids. There was no more room for them to sleep up there.
Now she was part Indian?
Half.
Half Indian?
Mohawk.
Mohawk. Okay.
And I imagine he was part Indian too, because they come from St. Jerome, the Indian reservation in Canada. They immigrated over here.
So who was from Saint-Mathieu?
Saint-Mathieu,
Saint-Simon?
My grandpa
Oh, your grandpa was from there.
was from way out on the end out there.
What made him come here?
There was more work over there, and there was about umpteen kids too, you know.
Yeah.
And in them days, the oldest kid got the farm, and he was the tail end. So him and his cousin, they come across from Canada into Port Huron. And his cousin stayed at, God dang, name of that town there, I can't think of it. And there's still a lot of Jeans down there. In fact, one run a tavern in Flint, and it was, because he married down there, you know, he went to work down there.
St. Clair.
Yeah, just this way from, I can't remember, there's a map in there. But anyway, his cousin stayed down there, and he went into Chicago, and that's when they were building the railroad, so he come in up here,
Oh, he wanted to work for the railroad.
went to work for the railroad up here,
And that was who? That was August?
August Jean.
August Jean. Okay.
So
Your grandpa.
I don't know. He says he got in an argument with the foreman and told him to go to hell. And so he,
Sounds like a
he
cheat.
homesteaded right down there.
Wait, so He had to quit because he got in an argument with the foreman.
Yeah, but, oh, there's
Oh,
that.
there's Nana.
Anyway, no, that's what happened.
So he homesteaded.
Yeah, he homesteaded right there. Well, then he set up a sawmill, planing mill, and guys eventually they had quite a building down there, a shop. They made windows and doors and frames, and they made paneling and all kinds of stuff with their machines.
What year do you think he came to the UP with the railroad? Was that right around the time you were born?
Oh, Christ, no, well, he was married, my dad was born in 1901,
Oh no, yeah, I'm thinking of the wrong guy.
and so,
Arthur was your dad, right?
yeah,
Arthur was born in 1901.
Mimi was born in 2.
And where was Arthur born?
1.
Where was he born?
Imagine down there by the railroad tracks. That's where they lived.
Nadeau. And Mimi was born, she wasn't born up here, was she?
Her mother come from Hamburg, Germany, and her dad come from around Copenhagen in Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
They immigrated when they were real small. And they immigrated in Wisconsin. So the Danes went to Denmark and the Germans went to Luxembourg in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're not too far apart. What are they, 10 miles
Yeah, I
apart?
lived down there, yeah.
Yeah. Just out of Green Bay.
Right.
Always.
Yeah.
So they got married down there. My grandma was, holy Christ, he was a midget like almost. And August Peterson was a big Dane, a blacksmith.
Okay.
But he died when he was 56. They said he had blockage in the bowels. It probably was colon cancer or something. At least buried right over here.
Okay. And then I thought Mimi lived in Peshtigo for a while too,
They
right?
lived all over. They lived in Harmony Corners and Pestigo, and they moved up here. And Deasy's Corner, they lived there.
Yeah,
That's where my
right.
dad met my mother when they were living out there.
The Petersons were living there.
There.
Farming or what?
Then he sold the farm and he moved in to Kearney, right at that house across the tracks, the first house on the left, that big house.
Okay.
They lived there quite a while because he went in cahoots with from the hardware store.
Down here?
Kearney,
Oh, Kearney.
Not Nadeau
Okay.
brother,
Not Nadeau brothers.
how you doing, Nana?
Good, how are you? Phone?
If someone calls you, it.
How's that thistle
I don't
seed
have
and the
Okay,
vegetable
sounds
seed?
that's-
Hi, Nana.
Hi, right here.
Thanks.
Cute.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Feeding the birdies?
Oh yeah. It's cold out. My mom said
You didn't have the thistle seed all,
What?
Huh?
the thistle seed and the sunflower seed wasn't all ate up?
No, what do you put in the third one? There's 3 of them. Yeah, there's. You don't put anything in the third one?
No. I
Okay.
used to put just bird seed in there,
Oh,
but they're
okay.
getting enough otherwise. They don't need that in
Okay,
there.
yeah. They didn't eat all that corn last night, the deer. There's still some out there.
What?
Corn. From yesterday.
Oh, there's still plenty of them, yeah.
Do you feed them every
Maybe the
day?
deer didn't get in there, I don't know.
That's a lot of food. Okay, we're doing Papa's family history. We got as far as Mimi, Bertha Peterson. So the Petersons lived out at Deasy's Corner. They
Well,
moved to
that's
town.
how come they met. My dad, at Nathan, there used to be quite a few houses in Nathan, you know.
Mhm.
Because whole lumber company jobbed that whole area and they had little spurs from the railroad running all over. They hauled all the logs to O'Connell to saw them up. But they had a big dance hall out there. And on Saturday night, my dad he had a team of horses and a sleigh with a bunch of hay on there. And he'd run out there and pick up everybody along the road to go to the dance. After the dance, bring everybody back. That's how come they met.
And she was a Lutheran.
Could you get a DUI on a horse?
She was a Lutheran. Now, the church is not there yet, but on the old 41 going south of Daggett, there was a little white church right there. That's where my grandpa was buried out of there.
Okay. All right. So then, when did your parents move to where you were born?
Well, they had the farm, and there used to be a big barn there and everything, but the barn burnt, and they put no lean-to there. But he was milking quite a few cows, and my grandpa owned all this property up here. He owned quite a mile up there. He must have had about 10, 12, 40 here. So my dad was farming. That's where I was born. But my grandma, at 42 years old, had a stroke. She couldn't take care of herself.
Delia.
So we moved on there to take care of my grandpa and her. And my mother took care of her until she was 73 when she died.
She lived for 30 years.
And she could not talk. All could she say is, AMI.
But she could understand.
Pretty much so.
Yeah.
But she never could hardly control herself or all.
Yeah, yeah.
So my mother, well, they used to have this big, like this, and they would have to pack that in her so she wouldn't pee in bed.
Rags and that kind of stuff.
They didn't have a caster in them days,
Oh. Okay.
But they had my grandma we had a big house. In fact, they built it for a hotel because it was right behind the depot and people would get off and on. So when that stopped, my grandma had a bedroom downstairs, and upstairs there was 3 bedrooms, I think, or 4. Right, it was big upstairs. I slept up there. My mother and dad slept up there, and everything else.
No.
So my grandpa slept up there. They never slept
That
together.
was down across the tracks?
Yeah, they never slept together after she, had a stroke.
Yeah.
She couldn't, but she had a cane and she just would shuffle,
Huh.
But she'd come in and visit my baby. My mother.
So she was around a lot when you were growing up.
Huh?
So you saw her a lot growing up. You lived with her.
Oh, yeah, well, we were together all the time, yeah.
Okay. What year did she pass away?
43.
43. Huh?
73.
Oh,
In
she
fact, my
lived that
grandpa
long.
passed away
Wow.
the same year, within a couple months of one another.
Wow.
I was home on furlough when he died.
Oh, you were?
When she died. I can't remember that far back. Anyway, that's what happened. We moved down there, stayed there.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole damn thing burnt.
So everything burned, and that's when they moved to where Mimi's house was.
Yeah, well, he had built that. In fact, he built his house, and I built the one on the corner where me and Ma lived,
Yeah.
both at the same time.
Oh,
About
okay.
46.
46.
And he sold a place down there to an outfit in Escanaba, and they were making windows and that kind of stuff, because all the machinery was in there for making windows and doors and stuff. And they hired a guy by the name of Herman Fish. They had a
Herman the German?
Herman Fish. Anyway, they had a boiler there, an old steam engine and everything, but they had an old car engine too. Well, anyway, he was making fire there, and he didn't know much about a boiler, and it blew back on him. If you get a boiler, if you put too much in there, too much sawdust and stuff, it'll just make big smoke in there. He opened the door, and when they got more air, it blew back,
Blue.
and it started a fire, and he run and burnt everything down there.
Ooh.
The whole
No insurance in those days, I suppose.
fire truck parking. Anyway, that's what happened.